Alright, so in this video, I'm going to discuss three EU residencies. These are going to be paper residencies. A lot of my client base asks me for an EU option, so they have the permit. So they're no longer relying on any visas or the ETA or the ITAS for EU, right? Once the ITAS goes live, you want to be playing games. You want to have a stable residency permit, a paper residency, ideally, so you don't have to be a tax resident. You don't have to physically live in the EU, but still maintain that residency permit for you and for your family. That's what is in demand in 2026. And there are three options, not one, but three options to secure that. I'm going to discuss all three in a lot of detail. I'm going to tell you my assessment on what's the best. I'm going to discuss the best one towards the end of the video. The third option, where this paper residency could actually lead to one of the most powerful citizenships on planet Earth. There's no other country that gives you a citizenship based on paper residency. It's going to be super valuable. But before I get started, if you feel that this channel adds any value to your decision making, please consider subscribing. It helps me get you breaking news on time. And then during the course of this video, at any time you want to strike any of these residencies, you know what to do. You can click the link, book a call, we can have a quick chat and get you started with the residency option of your choice. The first option on this list is the cheapest paper residency in the EU on planet Earth, and it's the country of Latvia. How much money are we talking here? Only 10,000 euros of expense to the state. Of course, you're going to have add some for the attorney fees, and the investment component is going to be 50,000 euros. Now, the investment component is not a fee, it's not a donation, it's your cash, and you're going to get this cash back whenever you need it. So let's say you completed your term, you no longer are required to keep this. You can withdraw this cash, you can take this cash back. So the net cost to you, to the state, is 10K plus the attorney fees and any taxes, or let's say your flight fees for traveling to Latvia. So the 60K price tag has 50K redeemable. You get this back. And the reason why this is one of the fastest is, let's say you have a Western passport, you don't need a visa, you land in Latvia in 15 to 20 days, you can actually secure the residency permit from inside. You need a specialized attorney in Latvia, and that's why we have a team located in Latvia that does this for us day in and day out. They help clients just like yourself, people just like yourself, to obviously enter and get your residency work completed with immigration. There's simple, straightforward steps. Now, if you do need a visa, then of course we work on your visa application ahead of time, and then of course you'll land and get your Latvian permit. It's a paper residency. What is the biggest pro? The biggest pro is that you're required once every year to renew this permit. It's a paper residency. Is this a good option for citizenship? Not really, because the time to citizenship is going to be 8 to 10 years. And for citizenship, the paper residency does not count. You got to physically live in the country if you are entertaining thoughts of becoming a citizen. Latvian language is not the easiest to chase, so this one works well in the interim. If you're simply looking to have a permit that helps you with the EU mobility, then Latvia is the cheapest entry into the EU. That's the first option. The second option on this list is Greece. And Greece, because you invest in your own property. The cheapest amount that you're looking to put in is 250K. So if you're converting a commercial to residential in certain locations, then 250K gets you the paper residency in Greece. And let's say you want to get a proper place to live, you want to buy a decent apartment or a villa, and you want to start off with a residential unit, you don't want to put in any money for renovations, etc., then you're looking at 500K plus. Depending upon which area, you start off with 500K, and the amount can go up. And you have obviously a EU permit. That's a flexible permit. It's a paper residency. Would I use this for citizenship? Not really, because you need to wait for 7 years to be eligible to naturalize. The Greek language is going to be tough, not everyone's cup of tea. So this is going to be great to have a property in a beautiful, safe, flexible, friendly country, and to have that paper path, the paper EU residency. For citizenship, this is not the ideal choice. I'm going to include a couple of bonus topics towards the end, which are worth considering, worth comparing to. Those are also paper residencies in the EU. The third option, which is my favorite option, which is, I think, the best option if you're looking for citizenship still. And yes, there's been some changes. I'm going to discuss what those changes are and how they impact you. But still, if you're looking for a paper path, this is the only option. And the option is Portugal. And the reason why I think Portugal is important is because, again, this is the golden visa. You put 325k to 400k euros. You get the entire amount back after 5 years. You also get a profit. So that's the pro. I see that as a pro because you're not losing money. It's almost a free option. You're getting some money back. So let's say you're paying for your attorneys, you're paying some fees, but they're giving you 50,000 euros in profit. So that really recoups those costs. So you don't lose anything. You get a permanent residency after 5 years. Now, although the citizenship would not happen now after 5 years because of the changes, citizenship time frame has moved from 5 years to 10 years. But what you do get is that important, solid, rock solid permanent residency in the EU. This is a special type of permanent residency which inherits the paper concept, right? So you, with least amount of physical presence on the ground, you can maintain your paper path in the EU. And then once you strike the 10-year mark, you can always apply for citizenship. Would I use this only for the citizenship purposes? Not really. Citizenship is an additional perk. Whenever the time comes, you apply and you see what happens. But in the interim, after 5 years, you take your investment back. You get a permanent residency in the EU, and that is what you should be targeting. That is what most people would be targeting. What are some alternatives? Now, I do see a couple of important alternatives over here. One is Cyprus. The second one is Malta. Malta, you can rent a property for up to the amount is approximately 14 to 15k euros in a rental property, and then you're looking at some state fees. Effectively, you end up spending around 159 160k euros in sunk fees and costs, but then that will get you the Malta paper residency. The second option is the Cyprus permanent residency. I like Cyprus because it's a permanent residency. A lot of people like the term permanent because they can do a lot more things in the country when you're a permanent resident. And second, you can trigger your citizenship after 4 years if you're willing to do the language, the higher level of language exam, or 7 years if you're just simply going to stick to the regular A2 levels. And in Cyprus, the deal is pretty straightforward. You put 300k euros in your property. It's your property. So you're investing in your own home and you're acquiring the permanent residency. The second important requirement here is 50,000 euros per year in annual income that you would need to show in Cyprus. And yes, you can include your family on your application. So this is an important option. It's a good option. It's a valuable option. If I compare Malta and Cyprus, I think Cyprus wins. But out of this entire list, if you're looking for the lowest cost option, then Latvia hands down wins the contest because you get the paper residency. It is at the cheapest price tag. If you're looking for the long-term play and if you're looking for that all-important EU passport, that EU citizenship, and you don't want to be a tax resident or EU, you don't want to move to EU, then the only option in the world is the Portugal golden visa that still exists. And a lot of people get it for that permanent residency with the option or the potential to then naturalize in the country. Now, before you go, make sure you're subscribed. And as I said, at any point in time you want to get started, you can always click the link, book a call. We can have a quick chat and get you started with the residency of your choice. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and catch you in the next one.